Well, everyone, welcome to the week 2 lecture. We're going to learn about reflective writing this week. And reflective writing is not something you did in junior high or high school. What I did last summer. Reflective writing is a metacognitive way of thinking about what you learned about something, what you learned about life. I have an example of you bake a cake and it comes out terrible. So you think, okay, what? Well, what is this cake? So what? Well, I looked at this and it came out terrible. Nobody wanted to eat it. And let me think of what I did wrong. Let me look at. Oh, I see. I used a half a cup of salt instead of a half a cup of sugar. So what am I going to do the next time? Well, the next time I bake this cake, I'm going to make sure I'm using sugar instead of salt. That's metacognition. That's thinking about what you did, thinking about how to make things better the next time you do something. So that's what we're looking at right now. And so basically, reflective practice, this describes it, kind of like what I did. Okay, and you're going to use this all your life. In school, if you're going to nursing, whatever you do, you're going to have to look at a situation and think about, what did I learn from this situation? What can I take away from the situation? And then how am I going to make myself better? How am I going to avoid this situation in the future? Okay? And to do this, well, we're going to do a reading in our textbook, Writing on the Island. And if you click Writing on the Island, it takes you to this page and it says open a new tab. There's nothing wrong with this. It actually opens in a new tab to this. This is our textbook. And if you click, it says Unit 2. Well, here's Unit 2, the writing process. And reflective writing, thinking about me. And this is just more about reflective writing and kind of what I was talking about. We are going to use the Driscoll Method of what, so what, and now what. What happened? So what? Analyze the event. Now what? Anticipate future practices, or how are you going to use this in the future? And this tells about it. No, you can't do this in 3 sentences. Oh, this is easy. I could just do it in 3 sentences. No, you have to be specific. You have to provide details. If we go back to our home page, it says, Driscoll, here's an example I've provided with an explanation. Okay. Stage, what? Okay. Here's what the person is, what the person is reflecting on. And this is the commentary on it. It says, well, here's kind of what's needed to make this stronger. Here's now what? Well, here's so what. These are in the wrong order. The so what, okay, here's what they took away from this. Here's the commentary on it. Here's the now what. Well, okay, here's what I'm going to do to make this better, myself better. And here's the commentary on this. By the time you see this, I'll redo this and they'll be in the right order. But that's what we're talking about. That's an example of what we're talking about. How to do a Driscoll Method reflection. Okay? So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to read this, all about the Driscoll Method reflection, and kind of get away that you know what you're doing. Well, what are you going to be reflecting on? Well, readings from our book. Unit 1, items 2, 3, 6, and 7. So you go back to our book. And let's close this out. Unit 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. So you're going to read those. And they're all short readings. They're just a little scroll down like the Driscoll Method was. So you've read those. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to compose a Driscoll Method reflection over all of those. Okay? So you've read them. You've taken some notes maybe. And there's mandatory headings you have to have when you do the Driscoll reflection for this class. An introduction, and you'll have introduction, and you'll introduce it. You'll have a section that says, what? Well, this is what you're reflecting on. So what? Well, this is what I learned about it. Now what? This is what I did. You're going to compose one reflection over all three of the readings. I suggest you do it in a Word document. You use the editor feature, and that will pull up and show you where you have surface errors, spelling, maybe something's not clear. You're going to save it as a Word document on your computer so you always have it. To submit it, you're going to copy it and paste it into the text box of the reply function. Got that? And then you're going to find somebody else's in the class, and you're going to reply to what they've written. You're going to do a reply. You're going to say, well, hey, maybe this, I didn't think of this. Okay, did you think of this? This is what you're going to do. You're engaging in a conversation with another student. It can be somebody in your group, or it can be just somebody you randomly pick. Okay? One thing I want to make clear is you're not going to upload any files. You're going to do it on Word. You're going to save it as a Word document. You're going to copy and paste it into the reply, into the text box. Because why? Well, because some people will save it as pages. You're not supposed to, or as a PDF. And it's too much for everybody to try and open. It's too much for me because I have 150 some students to try and download everybody's file. So how do you do this? Well, let me put this back in student view. Okay. This is what you see. You go reply. You put your reply here. You hit reply. And then you find somebody else's and you reply to it. It's as simple as that. Okay, that's all I have for this. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Thanks much. Bye.